Hello and welcome to another Friday football forecast. I'm Jeff Jones. Today we're kind of a lighter crew than usual. It's just Corey and I, and Parker has the night off because we are still going to get you ready for the upcoming UT football game. And we're also going to take a look back at the previous one. Now, Texas plays Kentucky next. They just ended up beating OU in the Red River rivalry. Corey, that Red River game was a good one. We saw a lot of great signs for Texas. Is there something from that game against OU that you believe will carry over and maybe fuel Texas for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I'm expecting that running game to continue to get better and better as the season goes on. One thing that Quintravion Wiseman talked about 2 weeks ago is how he needed things to slow down. He was rushing a little bit, pressing a little bit when he was trying to find holes because things just weren't working in the run game. But then last week against Oklahoma, he kind of balled out. He had a lot of carries, I believe 23 carries or 22 carries, and Sarkisian was big on that. He feels like running backs should get a bunch of carries so they can get used to the game flow. So you're hoping that he can continue to build on what happened last week, and of course that offensive line. Now, mind you, Cole Hudson being out, we'll see how much that plays a factor with the continuity. But another start for Nick Brooks as he continues to get better and better as a true freshman. And so let's see if that running game can keep on pushing along against Kentucky.
You mentioned Cole Hudson out on the offensive line. Connor Stroh, who was backing up Nick Brooks in that guard position, also out on the offensive line. The depth pieces don't seem like big pieces to be missing until you need them. So we got to keep an eye on the offensive line, looking a little lighter than usual today. Corey, let's move on to our next topic. And it's a quote that we've heard over and over again this week. And that's that Texas wants to treat every game like an SEC championship game. That's easy to say when you're going into a game against OU, but this week playing Kentucky where you're the heavy favorites, that phrase will be tested. Is that a phrase that you buy? Will they treat every game, this one, like an SEC championship?
I feel like you have to at this point because you already have that loss in conference. So any other loss now puts a risk of making the SEC championship game and making a college football playoff hopes. And so for a game like on Saturday night, you go into Kentucky, a team that you're 12 and a half point favorites against. You want to see this Texas team enforce their will against a team that is lesser than or expected to be less talented.
Yeah, something I don't think we've or people out there have talked about enough is the fact that Kentucky is coming off of a bye week. So they've had twice as much time to prepare for this game. Head coach Steve Sarkisian talked about that earlier in the week and told us he expects the Wildcats to look at things that have tripped up the Longhorns earlier in the season. Remember when they gave up that block punt against Florida?